Hello and welcome. I'm leveling. I have no idea what my intro is because I'm doing something entirely new and didn't have enough time to actually plan out what to say. Um, Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be working on a mashup. This is a pretty recent development that I've started making mashups. I started last week, literally, and it has since taken over my life. It is very much a new obsession and or hyperfocus. Um, and Today we're going to be working on Chicky Chicky Bam Bam and What an Amazing Swing. I realize now that this is not labeled correctly. Not sure how I got an M, but made sense in my head when I was rushing to get things put together for this stream. All right, so generally a starting point for mashups. You decide you find songs that are close to each other in BPM and somewhat preferably also in key. So in this case we have Chiki Chiki Bam Bam. In this case we're doing the cover version by Queendom, which has a tempo of 128 beats per minute, and is in E minor. And What an Amazing Swing, which has a tempo of 125 beats per minute, so pretty darn close, and then has a key of A flat major. So if you check our circle of fifths, so for people who are not super familiar with music theory, which to be fair, I wasn't really either prior to this endeavor, and perhaps still am not, every single major key also has a relative minor, which means that they use the same notes. But depending on how you use those notes, sometimes it'll sound happy and sometimes it'll sound sad, which is a really roughshod way of explaining major and minor, but it'll do for our purposes for now. So we have Chicka Chicka Bam Bam in E minor. So if we look at the inside of our circle of fifths, that houses all of our minor keys. We see E minor is the relative minor of G major. Both of them only have a single sharp, which would be F sharp. And if we look at One Amazing Swing, that A flat minor, so that is a single semitone off, so pretty darn close. And that is a large part of why I've chosen these two songs to attempt to mash together. I don't actually know if it'll turn out well. We'll see over the course of this stream, because one, the tempo is pretty close, two, the keys are pretty close, and just on a quick sort of like ear check, I thought it would be I thought it could sound good together. Very much like a gut check kind of a dealie, sort of like a back of the envelope napkin math. So I've got my different audio tracks. So we have the isolated vocals for What an Amazing Swing, as well as the instrumental without the vocals, and then same thing for Chicka Chicka Bam Bam. And then I've also, so Reaper has this setting which you set a tempo and it will generate, it'll basically force your cursor when you click onto it to snap to specific locations. This definitely has its pros, but I've typically, for the purposes of making mashups and whatnot, I've typically avoided it, just because I like having that little extra bit of control. And when so the beats in Reaper sync up to the beginning of your audio file. So here you can see this rhythm track. The beat itself does not align with the beat that Reaper sets. So if I were to turn on the metronome and then play this rhythm track, I'm just going to solo this out real quick. Do you have a metronome? Hopefully you can hear this okay. It's a little bit quiet, but you can hear that. Actually, I guess you can also monitor it. You can see it visually. No, it's not super clear visually. The Reaper's metronome is basically playing on the lines that are delineated in the program. So everywhere like my cursor is showing up, that is where Reaper is playing its metronome clicks. And then the clicks from the click track are obviously not aligned. So they're basically like a half beat off. They're completely out of phase, if you will. So if I wanted to fix this, I would have to cut this audio file. So basically I would have to split this peak in half, remove this beginning section so that the click in the audio file lines up with the like beginning basically of this beat, which would be fine, except that I would then also have to do that for every single clip that I take. And to be fair, it's a bit easier once you have all of your files set up, since when you cut things, since your cursor will snap, it'll just snap to whatever segment. But I would then also have to sync up all of my vocals and instrumentals the same way. I've not always had great success doing that in the past, because you cannot make clean cuts while the grid lines are enabled. So you'd have to you basically have to line up your audio file and then like make the cut knowing how much of an offset you need, and then turn the grid lines back on. So we're just going to function with the grid lines off for now. So the reason I like having a separate click track, even though once again Reaper has its own built-in metronome function, is because it gives me a nice visual that I can use to line things up. Like, yes, it's nice to do things by ear, and frequently getting it close enough is good enough. But sometimes it's just easier to have that visual confirmation, where it's like I'll listen to a section and then be like, oh, that was super messy. And I'm not sure if it was messy because the sections of the song don't go together well, or if it's because I've simply mistimed the positioning of one of the tracks. And being able to just look at it visually and be like, oh, okay, this track is aligned to the click track, this other track is not. Really cuts down on the headache, I suppose. So let's see. I guess we may as well just jump into, oh, right. So the way that Reaper's tempo adjustment works, we have BPM in the corner down here. So right now it is set to 128. So if you set this number before you import an audio file, then Reaper will treat that audio file as if it is that tempo, regardless of what tempo the audio file actually is. And then if you change this number after the audio file is already in Reaper, it will adjust the timing of the file based off of the differential between the two tempos. So before I imported any of these audio files, I set the BPM to 125, which is the tempo for What an Amazing Swing. I then imported the audio files for What an Amazing Swing, and then I changed the tempo from 125 to 128, which is the tempo for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam, which stretches, it compresses the timing of the audio files that were already loaded in, which in this case was What an Amazing Swing, to that new tempo. And then I imported the Chiki Chiki Bam Bam files. So theoretically, What an Amazing Swing and Chiki Chiki Bam Bam files that we have in now should be at the same tempo. They might not have their beats synced at the moment. That's fine. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But at the very least, their tempos should be the same. Sometimes you wind up in situations where either this number that you find online isn't accurate, or especially with older songs that were like not necessarily recorded to, let's say, like a drum machine, right, where everything is like perfect precision on time. Sometimes there's a bit of like swing as the musicians play. Sometimes you get a little bit of like drift, where certain parts of the song will be a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Or sometimes like the tempo isn't a perfect round number and you actually have a decimal point that you're dealing with. I've seen those, both of those happen before. And then it's just kind of a pain to get everything to line up. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that this isn't the case, given that both of these are very modern songs, or yeah, since we're using the Queendom cover, very modern. I would imagine that they were timed to perfect precision, but we'll see as we jump into it. So first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that our vocal and instrumental for each song is aligned. Let me double check that's correct. So typically what I do is I just pull up the original video of whatever I am working with. Okay, here we go. I think. No, this is just the instrumental, because I was looking for the instrumental earlier. Okay. Okay, so we listen to a section and then we listen to a section over here and see if it lines up. Okay, that is definitely not aligned. And also this is kind of loud. So I'm going to set this down a little bit. We'll see if that helps. We might have to drop that even further. So there's a little bar that lights up at the beginning of the track here as it plays. And this is it's a measurement of sound level. And above a certain point, how should I put this? It reaches a maximum at some point, or at least like what the program can register. And when it goes above that maximum, then we get like that the bar turns yellow instead of green. We get the little red bar on top as just like a notification, just being like, hey, this peaked. And we typically want to try to avoid that because it messes with how things sound in the mix once we are like exporting the file, which isn't going to happen today, but that's fine. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay, so the vocal is coming in a little bit late. So first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm just going to pull both these tracks out away from the beginning of the time track, just so we have room to play with on this side. This will also become more relevant once we really get into the swing of things when we're trying to match up the different sections of the different songs. So we'll encounter this more later as well. And it was just a few beats that the vocal was coming in too late. So I think it's right here on this drum beat that we're getting the first syllable. Yeah, it's on that like cymbal crash. Yeah, it's like a cymbal crash plus a kick. That's too late. So I think it's this part of the first syllable that's sort of aligning with the bulk of that. Actually, hold on. Yeah, okay. So you can sort of tell where sounds are in the audio track by the shape of the waveform. So anything that is taller is something that is louder. So here for an example, we've got like this sound wave petering out and then just a very large jump all of a sudden. So that is like so each of these is like one individual note on the saxophone. So every time a note begins, you get an attack where there's a jump in the size of the waveform, and then it will peter out, and then you get a new note, a new jump. All right, so let's check if this is aligned now. Okay, that sounds pretty darn good. So we'll leave that there for now. And then we'll do the same for Chicka Chicka Bomb Bomb. So let me pull this up. Okay, so there's like right before the vocals come in, there's like a drum fill and then like a little synth sting. Okay, so this is where the vocals should come in. So let's just listen to the vocals real quick. All right, here we go. Also, I guess I should note right now that the vocals that I'm actually using are from a cover that Watame, who is the artist who sings What an Amazing Swing, did. So I'm basically mashing up a song and then a cover of another song that is done by the same artist, which I thought would be kind of cool because it's the same. You get the same vocalist doing both of the vocals. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Just gonna check visually really quick. See if there's anything weird. Okay, cool. That should be okay for now. Okay, so now what we're going to try to do is find bits of the song that we think will fit well together. Also, I totally realize I'm not looking at... Okay, there we go. We're going to... we're just going to play around. We're going to mesh, I guess you could say. We're going to match the songs at different points in the different songs and see if we can find combinations that sound like they fit together well. So generally, I just like to start at the beginning of the song. Usually there's some sort of like interesting hook, which like has a lot of personality, I guess, for the song. So with Chicka Chicka Bam Bam, you've got the flute. I think it's some sort of woodwind. Yeah, you got that like flute sting at the beginning. And then you got the like drum fill as the synths come in. So that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if we're going to get some vocals that we can line up with it. No. Okay, so these waveforms, even though they're on the vocal, are just sax. Sounds from the sax that weren't cleaned out of the vocal track. Alright, so I'm going to listen back to this. Okay, so given how should I put this? What an Amazing Swing's intro section, the instrumentals sound pretty similar to the first verse. So if we were to just listen to this instrumental section, so you have the sax playing this melody, I guess, and then it repeats as the first verse is playing. And then I think you might get the same sort of sax melody repeat in as the song continues to progress. Whereas with Chicka Chicka Bam Bam, this opening sting is very much like an intro. It is making a statement. It's very distinct. It's very much like its own separate part of the song. So I do think that we're going to keep this as the beginning of our mashup. So with, let's see, if we were to continue listening to Chicka Chicka Bam Bam. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting structurally, because Chicka Chicka Bam Bam starts with its chorus, basically. It opens with a chorus, whereas a lot of songs. We'll start with a verse first. Take a drink, stay hydrated. So given that we're just jumping into a chorus here, what we probably want to do is we take the instrumental intro to Chicka Chicka Bam Bam, and then we run the instrumental past the intro, and then we're going to use What an Amazing Swing's vocals on top of Chicka Chicka Bam Bam's instrumental for its chorus, basically. That is sort of my thought process right now. So we're going to line up What an Amazing Swing with Chicky Chicky Bomb Bomb, so that the start of the vocals for What an Amazing Swing lines up with where the vocals would start for Chicky Chicky Bam Bam. So we have this this bump in the waveform for Chicky Chicky Bam Bam's instrumental. Here, let me do that. That'll help visualize it a little bit better. Which is this opening synth plus drum beat. And then we want to line that up with What an Amazing Swing's vocal, the same way that the vocal lines up with the original Cheeky Cheeky Bam Bam vocals line up with the instrumental. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot to adjust the key. So as we mentioned when we first started, the key for Chicka Chicka Bam Bam and What an Amazing Swing are a little bit different. Chicka Chicka Bam Bam's in E minor, and What an Amazing Swing is in A flat major. So checking E minor's relative major, we get go from E minor to G major. So we need to go from G to A flat, which is just one semitone, as I said earlier. So we need to raise Chicka Chicka Bam Bam by 1/2 step. So we need to do that for both the vocal and the instrumental. So we right click on the track, we go to item properties, brings up this little window. So here you can adjust a whole bunch of different things. You can adjust how it fades, although that is also something that you can do just from like the regular view. But typically when I'm interacting with this window, I'm either looking at the playback rate, which is another way of adjusting tempo. So if you weren't to do the thing that I explained earlier, where you set the tempo down here when you first import your audio files, and then you change the tempo down here, and then you import your other audio files that are of a different tempo, you can instead change the tempo here. So with this is the playback rate. So you would basically just find what the ratio is of the different tempos are, and then you apply a playback rate based off of that ratio. And the other thing that you can do is adjust the pitch, which is here, and this is done in semitones. I'm looking at Chicka Chicka Bam Bam, and I decided that we need to go up a semitone, right? Yes, we need to go up a semitone. So this will just get a 1. And then you'll see on top of the track above the audio file, it'll tell you this pitch has been increased +1. So in this case, just 1 semitone. We'll do the same for the instrumental track as well. And if you were to adjust the playback rate of the audio file, that would show up here as well. So I'll just do that right now just to show you what it looks like. So if we were to say, make this 0.9 instead, which would slow the track down. And now it says rate 0.9 next to the pitch +1. So we don't actually want that tempo change, so we'll just undo that. Good old Control-Z. Okay, so now these two files should be pitched correctly so that they match. So let's try that again. It was, let's see, this instrumental with this vocal. Okay. Okay, so that definitely sounds much more cohesive than it did before. Okay, I'm not entirely sure if that's necessarily what I want to do for the intro. Okay, so this is also kind of interesting from What an Amazing Swing, because this intro section is there's basically an intro in the vocals before the first verse. I think that's how that works. Yeah, so I think you can basically count this as like the start of the first verse, and then this is just like an intro into the song. So I'm almost curious if we can put this this vocal intro over the like opening sting in the intro for the Chicky Chicky Bom Bom instrumental. I'm not exactly sure how this would look timing wise. I guess we would probably time the verse with the like to match up to that first like synth sting after the drum fill. So let's just check to see what that sounds like. Okay, so this is definitely off. But I do want to check what it sounds like going into the first verse of the vocals for What an Amazing Swing. Okay, well that is off. Let me double check where my vocals landmarks are. Okay, so this is the beginning of the first word. So we want to align that with once again that synth, that first hit on the synth. So let's double check that. Let's see if that's any better. Okay, that sounds like a mess. Okay, so right now what's happened is we have matched we've matched a backbeat to a downbeat. So we probably want to shift this one. Oh wait, hold on. I think yeah, okay. I moved the vocal track without moving the instrumental track, which is fine. But typically I just like to keep the two together so that I have a reference point for like what I'm actually working off of. It'll become more important as we like progress through the mashup and I actually start pulling bits and pieces out. So as of right now, it's not as important, but just something to keep in mind. So what did we decide? We decided this. Yeah, that was the first first syllable. I should turn these down as well. These are also peaking. So you can do this with the dial as well. So these dials control the volume. You can just click and drag up and down, and that'll adjust the volume. Or you can right click on it to bring up this window. And then you can input whatever exact number that you want. All right, so let's go back. We'll solo this out. Okay, that is the first syllable as we've decided. And now I just want to listen to this section to see where I want that first syllable to land. Okay, so we probably want it one beat early. That is what my gut is telling me. So we'll line that up. And then we'll go ahead and listen to what that sounds like. Okay, that is incorrect. We want it to land one after, I think. So let's see. We want it to line up like there. No, that's still wrong. Hey Jeans, welcome. How are you doing today? This is a deviation from my typical stream. I've recently gotten into making mashups, and it is an obsession that has taken a hold of my mind and not let go. Doing well, excellent. I'm glad to hear that. So here I am, doing this on stream instead of the usual video games. Okay, I think we want to land here, like this. Hold on, one sec. I want to move that instrumental with it as well. Mash it up, just like potatoes, right? Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. That still feels early. I think it's just a hair early instead of like a beat early. Yeah. Something like that. That's a little bit closer. I'm not sure if that is correct though. Okay, interesting. I'm going to try this one more time. Just line this up to the opening synth. Okay, that sounds far better. I don't know why exactly that didn't sound good when we first did it. I'm not sure if I just like lined it up incorrectly. That's probably what happened actually, now that I think about it. I actually have no idea. I have no idea what happened. But this is... Okay, so that's correct. So now I want to see what this part, what the intros sound like when synced up. Okay, that sounds pretty decent. I'm happy to call that the beginning. Right now, the sound levels are not really adjusted correctly. So the vocal is like very much overpowering the instrumental in the beginning of this section. That's not something that we're going to worry about too much right now. Right now, we're just going to concern ourselves with like finding sections of songs that we want to line up together, and then matching them. And then once we've solidified basically like the bones of our mashup, then we'll go back and we'll hammer out the details, like the sound levels, the balance of the different instruments and parts and whatnot. Take a drink, stay hydrated. I'm probably gonna run out of water before I run out of thirst, but that is okay. We deal. Okay, so now that we've made that decision, we're going to just snag the first section of this. It is totally, so when you copy and paste an audio file, this is Chicka Chicka Bam Bam instrumental, and I will just plunk it down a little bit away from the beginning, just to give a little bit of leeway. Whenever you copy and paste an audio file in Reaper, like this, even though this is all that is visible, Reaper still, to the best of my understanding, the way I would explain it based off of my understanding is that it holds onto the information of the entire audio file beyond what is shown. So we can click and drag this out, and that'll just extend the audio file, basically exposing the part that we had previously ignored. And this is really nice because we can be pretty haphazard with how we cut and paste things. We don't need to like find the exact beat that we want our clip to start and end on. We can just sort of like, okay, you know, I'm going to, I want to grab this section, so I'm just gonna like highlight the entire chunk, copy and paste it over, and then worry about like the finer details and, you know, getting the exact timing downs after that. So I'll grab this section as well. That's not where that goes. So typically when I'm working on one of these mashups, I like keeping my vocals. I typically keep my vocals in the center, my instrumentals on the outside, and then I'll put my click track in the middle. This can be narrowed down a little bit because we don't really need to look at it all that much. So I have one song on the top, one song on the bottom, and then instrumentals on the outside, and then vocals on the inside. And that's just how I like to organize things. That just helps me mentally keep track of everything. And in keeping all of these tracks separate, it allows me to sort of like look over a project and be like, okay, this section has the vocals from this song, the instrumental from this song, and then like this is how long that section runs for. So I can tell if I'm just like, oh, you know, I'm basically playing the entire song just with the vocals from one song and the instrumental from the other. And it's like, oh, well, I should probably, you know, do something a bit more interesting than just that. We can go ahead and mute our click track. We really only care about it for the visuals at this point. So let's go ahead and double check our alignment. So this is that first synth sting, and we want it to line up, I believe, with this asymmetric peak. I believe that is the first syllable. Yeah, okay. Drop this. All right, okay. So when I had decreased the volume using these knobs, these are controls for the individual track. So this is still a bit loud, so I'm going to drop these down. Oh, that is not a negative. There we go. So when we copy and paste bits and pieces of the audio file onto a new track, it won't remember what the volume of the previous track was because it only cares about the data from the audio file itself. So we're going to have to go ahead and reapply. Basically, we're just going to tell the track, okay, decrease the volume the same amount. Let's see. So we'll do that for the instrumental as well, just for the purposes of completedness. Let me double check the volume of Chiki Chiki Bam Bam. Okay, that's probably okay. Okay, that's gotten out of sync. So we'll I'll go back and resync that real quick. Not sure how that happened. Let's see. Okay, so this is where the vocal should come in, I believe. Okay, that is a beat late. So this is that first kick. That is that first syllable. Yeah, there we go. Okay, great. And that audio level is good enough for now, I think. Wait, hold on. Is this actually? Okay, yeah. So I need to apply this as well. This is down -5, so we'll apply -5 to the vocals here too. And I generally like when doing this initial like setup step. Is that necessarily the correct word choice that I'm looking for? The part where I'm just like cutting and pasting different pieces of the tracks together. I generally like to err on the side of too quiet. And then afterwards, once all the bones are in place, adjusting volume levels is one of the future steps. And generally, I like keeping things more on the quiet side, is because as you add more tracks together, you're adding more sound. So things are going to they're going to add up to a louder volume. So I like keeping the bits and pieces quiet on their own initially. And then theoretically later on, when we add everything together, it won't be too loud all at once. And generally, it's just easier for me to pick out different bits and pieces, like different instruments or like vocals, if things are all too quiet rather than if they are all too loud. I'm not sure if that's just a me thing or not, but hey, there you go. Okay, let me go ahead and mute these. Okay, so that is the end of the first verse. Structurally, and you can kind of tell just from the waveform as well. The first half of the verse is structurally very similar to the second half of the verse. And you know, if you look at the waveforms, you kind of see pretty like a similar patterning, I guess, between the two. So it's like you have this first bump, the second bump, and then this big chunk, and then this longer chunk. And sort of the same here. You have this first bump, the second bump, a bit of a chunk, and then like this continuous section here. So we listen to this on its own. So the melody is, you have, this is one phrase of the melody, and then you basically repeat that same phrase in the melody again. So let's go ahead and listen to Chiki Chiki Bom Bom and see. So we said that it started out with a chorus, and then afterwards moved into the verse. So we'll see what the verse sounds like. It's a little bit. Where did it start? Okay, so it starts like right there. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I know I've been saying that a lot. So we just talked about how with What an Amazing Swing, its first verse is split into two halves. And then the first half is basically a mirror of the second half. And to put this, to put a sort of weird analogy on this, if you think about like rhyme schemes in like poetry or something like that, this would be ABAB, where you have two lines that the first two lines don't rhyme together, but then they rhyme with the next two lines, like skipping a line. So you have ABAB, so that the A lines rhyme and the B lines rhyme. So that's kind of what's happening here with What an Amazing Swing, where it's like you have your first line, and then your second line. That's the end of one phrase, or I guess to use the poetry analogy for the couplet. And then you have the next two lines, which is the next phrase or couplet, and these two sort of repeat each other, or like mirror each other, where they carry the same melody. Whereas with Chiki Chiki Bom Bom, to extend the analogy, uses a AABB rhyme scheme, where they have the first two lines are the same, and then the next two lines are the same. So playing that back again, I think it started here, was it? Okay, it's here. So that's the end of line one. So this is the second line that had the same melody as the first line. And this is line 3, which has a different melody. And this is line 4. And line 4 carries the same melody as line 3. So originally what I was thinking with this is that we would take the first half of What an Amazing Swing. This is before I sort of listened to this section of Chiki Chiki Bom Bom, made this realization. I was like, okay, you know, we could probably take the first half of What an Amazing Swing's first verse, drop the second half, and then if the first verse of Chiki Chiki Bom Bom uses the same structure, then we can basically pull the second half of the verse from Chiki Chiki Bom Bom and drop it in here. But given that it does not follow that same structure, it might not necessarily feel complete if we did that. So let's listen back to that real quick. So if we were to pull just like half of this. Okay, so if we were to try and do what I had just discussed, the closest to alignment that we would get with like sort of the matching idea of kind of like the ABAB structure is we would take basically lines 2 and 3 from Chiki Chiki Bam Bam. So I think it's like here. Here. Wait, hold on. Did I confuse myself? Yes, I did. I did confuse myself. One sec. No, that was correct. That was correct. So we would take this line and then this next line. And we stop there. So that would be our 2 lines sort of in A-B structure, and we would slap that down here. But I don't necessarily think that is going to work. It doesn't really feel like the end of a phrase. Whereas with What an Amazing Swing, if you listen to just the first 2 lines in isolation, that resolves at the end of that second line. And if we were to pull line 2 and line 3 and end at the end of line 3 for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam, it does not feel like it resolves, which makes sense because, you know, it's not the end of a phrase. It is written to be line 3, and the actual phrase is supposed to conclude on line 4. So this is the end of so this is the end of line 4. So that does resolve a bit better than this. I guess it's not terrible. All right. We're just going to experiment. This is going to be weird. This is not going to work at all, but it is always good to just like play around and see what happens, because sometimes things that you're like, that's really weird, there's no way that's going to work. Sometimes that ends up working, and then like that's something really cool that you've discovered. And usually there's like some valuable lesson to be taken away of like, oh, okay, you know, I can match up structures like this or something like that. And also, like, you know, that's sort of the fun part of the fun of this type of activity is just like messing around, seeing what comes out of it. So very much encourage a sort of like for science mentality. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this entire phrase right now. Once again, doesn't super matter how exact I am, because I can always just click and drag it out once it is copy and pasted. So we are looking at somewhere around here. Chichi Bomb Bomb vocals, so it goes into this. Okay. Okay. So that is sort of the start of the phrase. Okay, and this is going to get weird because we are lining this section of the vocals up with a section of the instrumental that it is not aligned with in the actual like original song. Hold on one sec. Okay, I think it should go basically like here. Basically, once the vocals for this first, oh, hold on, no, we wanted it here. Because we wanted it after the first 2 lines of the verse. Okay, so we basically want it to line up with where this second phrase comes in. Okay, so let's see what it sounds like here. Okay, that does not sound right. Nekomo, nekomo. Okay, so this should actually come in on beat 3 rather than beat, sorry, comes in on beat 4 rather than on beat 1. Okay, not quite. Oh, wait, hold on. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Oh, interesting. Okay, there's that chicky in the backing vocals that I did not notice earlier. Okay, that's fine. Hold on. I don't think I grabbed. I think I grabbed starting at line 3. Wait. Okay, I grabbed starting at line 1. That's silly of me. Okay, so that's the start of line 2. There we go. Oh, and just in case you're curious. Oh, hey, Tav. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. We're doing something a little bit different today. As I've mentioned before, mashups have kind of taken over my mind recently. So here we are making mashups on stream. Okay. So we want this to line up here. So that first couple of syllables, the yoe, is it's a pickup. So it's on the 4th beat, and then the ba is on the downbeat on the 1st beat. Okay, that actually works surprisingly well. Interesting. So at that point, as I mentioned before, we're basically offsetting the vocals from where they would be in the original track. Because typically, actually, hold on, I can just show this visually. So in the actual track, if it's lined up, we have the vocals starting partway into the instrumental, whereas here, as we've positioned the vocals right now, we're basically starting the instrumentals on top of the vocals at the same time. So we have offset the song in this positioning, which usually would make things kind of weird. And maybe it still does, but it honestly does not sound as bad as I may have expected. So that works. But is it good? Not entirely sure. I want to take a quick check to see what it sounds like if we line up our vocals for Chicka Chicka Bomb Bomb with the instrumentals for the first verse of What Amazing Swing. Okay, so that is... Okay, so our downbeat is like here. That's the button I'm looking for. Okay, so here is our downbeat. So then we want to move the vocals. So they start on the downbeat. I believe that's how it's supposed to be. Oh, right. I forgot. There's a has the chorus first. Okay. So we're looking for. Was it like here? I think it was like here. No. What did I do? Okay, I just misplaced my cursor, I guess. All right, let's pull back. Where was it? Was it here? Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so we want this on the downbeat. We want the mo on the downbeat. That feels weird. I I'm gonna lower this a little bit more. I don't think that sounds bad. Sorry, I'm just checking to see if the keys actually line up. I did adjust the pitch of one of these to try and get the keys to match up, but the vocals sound just like a little bit off when paired with the instrumental this way. So I just want to double check. It doesn't sound terrible. It's kind of difficult because the actual like melody here is a little bit buried. The rhythm section very much takes precedence right now. Like the kick is like very prominent compared with the synth. Is that the synth? I'm not entirely sure what that is, but the melody is definitely not particularly prominent. Or I guess the melodic component. Whereas in What an Amazing Swing, like the brass is really what's forward. You can like the rhythm section, like the drums here they're almost like something that you feel rather than something that you hear. And it's almost the opposite in Chicka Chicka Bam Bam, where like the drums are very prominent and the other instruments are sort of kept in the background. I guess you have the higher synths going on. And I guess it's almost like their version of a bass line. It's not like low enough to be bass, but they're basically treating it like a bass line. And that is sort of what my mind is focusing on when I'm listening to these instrumentals. So that's sort of what I'm trying to like draw. All right, I'm just gonna play around with this really quick. We're gonna mess around with the equalization. So what EQ allows you to do is basically take specific frequencies of sound and make them either louder or quieter in the audio file. So if we're to say look for the bass line here, we can just like pull up a section of the frequencies and then sort of drag it around to see what frequencies the part that we're looking for is. So typically if you're looking at like bass, I think you'll look somewhere in the 150 range. So that definitely brings out a bit of the boominess of the kick. Maybe that is also bringing out the bass. It's going to be somewhere in here, I think. let's try just making this a little bit wider. Okay, so we are looking for the bass. I'm just gonna try narrowing this down, sticking it at 150. Okay, sorry, I'm getting into the weeds a little bit here. This is not typically something that I'll do at this stage of the game, but because I want to, how should I put this? When listening to the two instrumental tracks stacked on top of each other, I'm not really hearing the parts of Chicky Chicky Bomb Bomb's instrumental that I like want to care about. So in order to like better represent what I think the final mix should sound like, I'm just boosting this because this is something that I would do at the end, just to help me get a better sense of what it sounds like, what it will sound like. So this isn't going to be final by any stretch of the imagination, but we're just going to do that for now. All right, let's bring this back out. Let's see what it sounds like together. Okay, that feels a lot better. Okay, this might still be a little bit loud actually. Let's bring this back down, back up to -10. I'm not expecting this to line up and sound good. I'm just listening to the different instruments, listening for the different instruments, I guess I should say. And just trying to like make sure I can pick out the different instruments in the mix. Let's set this at, is that too much? I think that was a little bit too much. So let's set this at -12. Okay, cool. I think that actually sounds pretty decent in that I can like pick out the different sounds I care about. Not that it sounds good at the moment, but that wasn't the goal. Let me just set this as well, just for the sake of completeness. Okay. Right, we were checking to see if I forget what exactly we were checking for. Let me see if I can remind myself. We wanted to match the intro of, sorry, the first verse of Chicky Chicky Bomb Bomb with the first verse of the instrumental for What an Amazing Swing. I think that's what we had decided on. It feels a little bit off, just in terms of pitch. They're not playing nicely together, and I'm pretty sure it is accurate because this sounds good together. And the two instrumentals sound good together. The instrumental and vocal for Chicky Chicky Bomb Bomb sound good together. But the instrumental for What Amazing Swing and the vocal for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam does not play well together at least for this section. This is probably just because one was written for a major key and one is written for the minor key. So while they do mesh, it just feels a little bit off. I'm curious to see if this is also the case for the chorus. So let's go ahead and look for the chorus on the vocal for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam. Okay, so yeah, okay, so this is the chorus for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam. And then we want the chorus for What an Amazing Swing. Okay, that actually lines up quite nicely. That's not what I wanted. That sounds very strange. As I said when I first started this stream, I don't actually know how well these songs are going to play together. And it doesn't sound like the choruses are playing well together. This sounds fine. This sounds great. So it's just for whatever reason, the vocal for oh, actually, hold on, let me double check something real quick. So because this is a cover of Chiki Chiki Bam Bam, that is different from this cover of Chiki Chiki Bam Bam. So the vocal that I'm using for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam is a cover that the artist that does What an Amazing Swing did for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam. So it's possible that she changed the key that she did the cover for Chiki Chiki Bam Bam in which case this pitch adjustment may be inaccurate. So let's see if we can check that really quick. I think, if I remember correctly, TuneBat has an option where you can upload, what am I looking for? Here we go. You can upload a file and it'll identify what key it's in as well as what its BPM is. So we're looking for the cover. So we'll do the version that has both the vocals and the instrumentals just to give it more information to work with. Okay, that is in G major. So we might not need to adjust it because I think Chiki Chiki Bam Bam is in G major. Right? Am I crazy? E minor, relative major is G major. Okay. So they did not change the key, so it should be pitched down the way it is. Sorry, it should pitched up. It should be pitched up the way it is. Yeah. Okay, so that is correct. Which makes sense now that I think about it in hindsight, because this vocal and this instrumental plays well together. And that would not be the case if the pitch did not match. So that's a bit silly on my part. Didn't really need to do that, but we've done our due diligence, I suppose. So yeah, for whatever reason, the vocals of Chiki Chiki Bam Bam don't really play well with the instrumentals of What an Amazing Swing. It's not terrible, it just feels off. Okay, that's a very different section of the song. Okay, let's think about this for a sec. So this was lining up the So this lines up the verse, if I remember correctly. Just double check what I'm saying. Okay, so yes, that is lined up correctly. So we are lining up the verse with this verse. Okay. Yeah, that is interesting. I'll have to keep that in mind. In that case, I'm not really sure what exactly I'm going to do here. Because typically what I like to do for the intros, the openings of my mashups is almost like an introductory statement in an essay where it's like, these are my ideas. Here is like a brief overview, like a quick summary of the big picture. So what I like to do is, if there's some sort of like intro stinger for one of the songs that is particularly iconic, I'll use that. And then for the first verse, I'll do like vocals of one song matched to the instrumentals of the other for like the first half of the verse, and then we'll switch for the second half of the verse. And then there will maybe be like part of the chorus from the other song thrown in, almost like an ad lib, and that just sort of like sets up my like hypothesis or like thesis almost of like, oh, okay, these two songs play well together. Like this is what the mashup has in store for you. But if the vocal of Chiki Chiki Bam Bam just does not play well with the instrumental of What an Amazing Swing, then that's not really something that I can do, and I'll have to find a way around it, I guess. All right, so just out of curiosity, I am going to check this. So we're looking at, this is A flat that we're looking at, I believe. A flat, so G sharp major. I guess we can just ignore that for now. Okay, so this, would this be considered a plugin? I have no idea. I don't think it would be this feature, Reatune. This allows for manual pitch correction within an audio file. So I use it a lot when I do my vocals because my singing's not that good and I can't always hit pitches exactly. So I will go in after the fact and then manually correct pitches. So quick note: this is not auto-tune. Auto-tune refers to like a specific feature, I guess, of within tuning, like a subset of tuning, where it is done by the machine. And it'll basically take whatever the pitch currently is, it'll move it to what it deems is the nearest correct pitch. So if we're working in A flat major, which is the key that we're working in here, it will just hard slam every single bit of the audio file to one of these pitches that is like in the key. At least I think it's supposed to be in the key. It might just be like whatever pitch is closest. And because when it is like done very aggressively, that's when you get sort of like the iconic almost like sound profile of what you think of when you think of auto tune. With manual tuning, you are going in and specifying, okay, for this section of the audio file, for this like one note as an example, like this one syllable or whatever, I want it to be this specific note. So what that looks like here, I'm just going to draw on this just so you can see. So like here I would basically be telling the program, oh, okay, take this pitch, and then instead of making it a C, which is where it's currently at, raise it by half a semitone, make it C sharp. And then here I'm basically saying like, okay, you know, this is correct, just do that. And then the program will attempt to correct it as such. I just wanted to look through this to see what exactly all the pitches were. See if I can get a sense of why exactly it doesn't necessarily play well with the instrumental. And obviously this is all going to be like correct, because this is a professionally produced piece of music. So, excuse me, this artist, like, you know, does this as their job. So they are a capable singer. And then also with the, you know, full capabilities of a studio, they will make sure that the singing is on pitch, whether it is making sure that they get a take where that is the case, or going in and doing what I just discussed, like manually tuning it after. They will definitely make sure that, you know, it is more or less accurate. Some of the endings of these notes, like these vocal flips, I'm wondering if that is what's sort of throwing me off. Yeah, it definitely still feels very strange. It's kind of weird because I think Chiki Chiki Bom Bom's the one that is written in a. Oh, okay, no. Yeah, Chiki Chiki Bom Bom's the one that's written in a minor key. Um, but when I'm listening to the two of these together, it uh almost sounds like it's the vocals that are in the major and the instrumentals that are in the minor. That might just be a weird me thing, to be honest. G major. Hmm. Oh, hey Cindy, welcome. And I guess hello, Cindy's sibling. I hope you're doing well. Hope your evening is treating you nicely. We're doing something a bit different today because this has been my brain's most recent hyperfocus, and this is all it wants to think about. Making mashups. So here we are. Here we are. So right now I'm working with two songs that one is written in minor key, the other one is written in major key, and it's like one semitone off of the relative from each other. So one is E minor, the other one is A flat major. So E minor's relative major is G major, and then G is one semitone off from A flat. So I think on paper, the songs should play somewhat nicely together, and for the most part, they do. Like if you listen to the two instrumentals together, that's not the instrumental, is it? Like that sounds good together. And then if you take the vocal and the instrumental from the two different songs, that plays well together. And then I think the vocals also play well together. That plays well together. And then even though like here structurally it's a little bit off, like pitch wise it sounds okay. But then when I'm combining the instrumental of this Wong song with the vocals together, it just sounds a little weird. It just like really brings out the darkness, which is not necessarily like bad. It's just it doesn't necessarily match the vibes of the other combinations. And it just feels weird in that way. Okay. Well, I sort of figured that this was a potential possibility that I would just get to. I'd get a bit of ways into the stream and then realize the songs don't play well together and that I might have to just abandon the project. Which would kind of be a shame because once again, like the other combinations all play well with each other. This combination is leaving me a little bit stumped because I'm not sure how I would go about matching it up. I guess that also has a little bit of that darkness. It doesn't really sound quite as off as this vocal with this instrumental. This sounds pretty dark to me. I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think what I just have to do is pull the section, slap it next to the other intro part that I've got right now going on, and just listen to what it sounds like back to back. But we're looking at verses, or yeah, verse. Hold on, I'm losing myself. What am I doing here? Right, I got in here because I was lining up the verses because I wanted to see what the verses sound like together. All right, so where are my verses here? Right. Okay, so we're starting here. Oh, okay. So we do have the verses lined up. I'm not sure if I'm Stockholm syndroming myself, but the more I listen to it, the more okay it's sounding to me. So I don't really know what's going on with me. All right, so we have what are we looking at? This is the vocals of Chicka Chicka Bam Bam with the instrumental of What an Amazing Swing. I'm just gonna stick it here for now. Oh my goodness. I am out of water, alas. I'll deal with that later. All right. I guess I didn't need this. That's fine. Let's see. What was I doing? Oh gosh, I'm so confusing myself. All right, here we go. No, that's not what I was doing. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that is the end of a verse. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slap this on the end of it just to see what it sounds like back to back. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. I don't know if I don't know about this. Okay, that was honestly not as bad as I expected. The timing is off. That is going to contribute to it feeling weird. But for the most part, the sound profile is more of what I'm concerned with right now, and it honestly didn't sound that bad. Okay, so if I were to do this a bit more seriously, I would first... Hold on, does this not just... No, just of course it does not. Of course it does not just line up. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let us place this into the correct track, and then we'll figure out where we want it to line up. Okay, so we want this downbeat. Want this downbeat to line up with... I think we want it to line up with this beat here. So we'll grab this, we'll grab this. Do a scoot. That looks good enough for now. We're just not going to worry about the transition for now. That's fine. It still feels a little bit weird. Still feels a little bit weird. Obviously, the transition, the complete lack thereof, I guess, of a transition is going to make it feel a little bit more jarring. All right, what if we just did this? Just had this end. I definitely mind it less than when I first was listening to this combination, but it does still sound like very distinctly minor in a way that like this earlier combination does not. Oh man, yeah, that just sounds weird. It feels weird. It feels weird. But for now we're just going to stick with it so I don't end up stuck on this section forever. And then if I end up abandoning the project later, that's fine. But for now, we're just gonna forge onwards. So now we've gotten basically past we've done the first verse for one song, first half verse for one song, I guess. No, this is the first verse. Okay, we did the first verse for one song. We did the first verse for the second song. So now we probably want to actually look at choruses. Let's see, where are we at here? Okay, so this is a pre-chorus. And this is the chorus itself. Okay. And then for the other song. Wait, hold on. I'm getting very confused. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Interesting. And this is where the chorus starts, right? Yeah. I do quite like that combination. This combination just feels very strange. All right, I'm gonna try and poke around this instrumental and see if there's anywhere else that will play nicely or play a little bit better with the chorus here. Okay. Let's just experiment a little bit. Okay, so what if we just did something like this? Let's get the downbeat right. Okay, so this goes up to, gosh, I keep losing my spot. Here, I think, something like that. No, we're here. Okay, so that should be the downbeat. Okay, let's try that. That doesn't feel that bad. It just like on the tail end of these phrases, it just feels very minor, which is just a different vibe from a lot of the other combinations that we've messed around with. All right, let's try this. Okay, so let's take this, line this up here. Late. Okay. I want to say that works a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe because I've been listening to so much, I'm getting used to the more minor sound. Well, let's just experiment. Declare for science, and then just kind of go for it. Okay, so looking at what am I doing? This is not what I'm trying to do. Let's get rid of this. Just gonna mute that for now. Stick this in its stead. I don't think this is aligned correctly though. Hold on. I'm just gonna do that for now. What's happening here? Okay. that's the part that we want to align with the front of this. Thereabouts. I think, wait, is that right? No, we want to line it with here. Silly me. There-ish. I want to say that plays a little bit better. Plays a little bit more nicely. Let's just try this for now. Definitely still sounds a little bit weird, but it feels a lot better than what I had before. At least I want to say that. Not sure how accurate that is. It doesn't really flow well. I tend not to worry too much about the transitions at this point. And just sort of worry about the structure of the song and whether or not that makes sense at this stage in the process. But I'm not sure how much of the feeling of offness comes from like the very harsh transition here. I guess I don't necessarily mind that. I'm kind of okay. I kind of tempted to try one more thing here. Let me see. Let's check the alignment real quick. Okay, that is correctly aligned. So I'll try just doing this instead of dealing with the instrumental. I can get rid of this. Mute that for now. And then we'll pull the vocals from here instead. Okay. Not sure what exactly I'm doing here yet. I'm just playing around. Which, to be fair, is most of what I'm doing regardless. But just to make it very clear. Okay. Is this just this? Okay. So we drop the sort of intro there. Okay. Okay, so that is our downbeat, and we want to align it with the downbeat over here. which is... Okay. We're just gonna try this for now. See what happens. Was that my correct downbeat? Yeah, okay. Not really. Not really. Okay, let's try this instead. Oh gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know. Just playing. Okay, we're sort of structurally we've moved on, so I don't think we need to worry about that part too much. Okay. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, I don't necessarily mind that. And what about this? That actually sounds okay, but I think once I take this out, it's gonna sound a little bit weird. It doesn't really sound all that weird to me anymore. I think I may have Stockholm Syndrome myself, which is fine. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. All right. Honestly, I think I have reached the end of my brain's productive capabilities for this evening. I think that's part of why I've been struggling so hard this last little bit. Maybe it's been more than a little bit. I think my brain is decided to call it quits. So we will take it over to the poetry corner. Whoop. All right. Today's poem is by me. Bit of a rarity. But I thought it was applicable for us trying something new on stream. This poem is called For the Dreamers. Do you dream of exploration, taking in new sights? Do you dream of excellency, reaching for new heights? Do you dream of widespread fame where everybody knows things you've done and who you are and all your highs and lows? Do you dream of healing all the scars you've gained in life? Do you dream of jettisoning ballast-causing strife? Do you dream of being free enough to boldly chase all the things that used to bring a smile to your face? No matter what your dream is, I'm writing this for you. I write for all the dreamers, seeking courage to pursue anything that fills the wanting holes within your heart. I hope you find this poem as encouragement to start. For the dreamers. Well, I think that will be it from me for tonight. Thanks as always for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the stream, even though it was A, something very different than what we normally do, and B, a bit of a struggle for me, to be honest. I was hoping that the songs would play a little bit nicer and we'd get to see a bit more of the process, but unfortunately that's not how things went. So I do apologize for that, but I hope you did enjoy whatever you stuck around for anyways. If you did like what you see and you're looking for more, I'll be back next week on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be continuing Tactical Breach Wizards, which I've been having quite a good time with. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next Thursday. We'll see. It might be more of this. Maybe I'll have made some headway on this particular mashup, and you'll get to see a bit more of that process. Or maybe I will abandon this on the cutting room floor, which is fine and happens all the time, and that's just part of the process, part of the creative process. And I'll have something new cooking that will hopefully go a little bit better. So might do that. I might also go back to playing Stray, which is what we played on Thursday a couple weeks back. But that is a decision for future me to make. And if you would like to influence that decision, you're more than welcome to mention something either in the chat or in one of the comments once this is done. But that is it for me for tonight. Thanks as always for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I will catch you next time. Take care, folks.